Dreams, fleeting glimpses of another world, or perhaps another realm within ourselves. Throughout history, we've heard of strange and fantastical dreams, but today, I'm going to take you through one of the most bizarre dreams ever recorded. A dream so strange, it blurred the line between reality and fantasy. Buckle up, because what you're about to hear is no ordinary dream. It all starts with a man named Robert. One night, in the middle of winter, Robert fell into a deep sleep, as most of us do. But what he experienced next wasn't just a typical dream. It was a surreal journey through the unknown. In his dream, Robert found himself standing in the middle of a massive desert. The sand beneath him sparkled like diamonds, and the sky above was an unusual shade of green. But here's where it gets stranger. Floating in the sky, barely visible, was a colossal cube, shimmering and rotating slowly as if observing him. Drawn toward the cube, Robert tried to walk, but with each step, the horizon seemed to stretch farther away. Time in the dream didn't feel right. He felt like he was moving for hours, days even, but he never grew tired. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, Robert reached a massive door at the foot of the cube. The door wasn't attached to anything. It stood alone in the desert, yet it hummed with an otherworldly energy. When Robert opened the door, he found himself in a room that seemed familiar, but completely foreign at the same time. The walls were made of pulsating lights, and the ceiling seemed to stretch into infinity. At the center of the room was a mirror. What was in that mirror, you might wonder? When Robert looked at it, he didn't see his reflection. Instead, he saw flashes of people, hundreds, maybe thousands, faces he didn't recognize, and yet, deep down, he felt he knew them. They weren't human. They were something more. As Robert stood frozen, the faces in the mirror began to speak, not in words, but in thoughts. They showed him images, like memories he never lived. He saw places that didn't exist, moments that defied time. Suddenly, the cube began to crack, and the dream world around him started falling apart. The sky turned black, and Robert felt himself being pulled into the mirror. Everything around him dissolved into chaos. As he fell deeper and deeper, he realized he wasn't falling alone. A shadowy figure was descending with him, whispering words in a language he couldn't understand. Then, just as the ground was about to hit, Robert woke up. It was 3:33 a.m. Robert was sure of it. But as he sat in his bed, trying to shake off the dream, he noticed something strange. His reflection in the mirror across the room wasn't moving. He blinked, rubbed his eyes, but the reflection just stood there, staring at him. Panic flooded him as the figure in the mirror smiled. The next thing Robert remembered was waking up in the morning, as if the night before had been wiped from his memory. Except, of course, for the dream. So, what does this dream mean? Is it just the mind's way of processing the strange and chaotic experiences of life? Or is there something deeper here? Many experts believe that dreams, particularly ones involving surreal and unexplainable elements like floating cubes, endless deserts, and reflections, are tied to our subconscious fears and desires. The cube could represent Robert's quest for understanding, perhaps of himself or his place in the universe. The mirror, showing faces and memories he never knew, might symbolize the collective unconscious, a theory introduced by Carl Jung. This suggests that Robert's dream wasn't just personal. It was a dive into the shared human experience. The shadowy figure could represent Robert's darker side, the parts of his personality he's trying to suppress. As for the reflection that acted independently, That may symbolize the fear of losing control or the feeling of being disconnected from oneself. In the end, dreams like these remind us that our minds are filled with mysteries we may never fully unravel. Whether this was just a bizarre dream or a glimpse into something far more profound, it certainly makes us question what's real and what's imagined. And maybe, just maybe, there are answers waiting for us in the deepest corners of our minds. If you've had a strange dream or an experience like Robert's, drop a comment below and share your story. Until next time, sweet dreams, if you dare.